I really don't know. I just kind of just feel like setting this up. I just had an idea in my head just to do this.
Some people deserve to be trusted and taken up deserve to
But
be
then
trusted.
again, it's also like, why? You know, like ask myself, like, why in the world would I want to do this? But then I'm also like, there are many other people that really talk about nothing and that don't do literally anything at all. That can literally sit in front of a camera and nod their head to a video and then somehow get millions of views on it. Or you have other people who can make jokes about other shit and then all of a sudden be labeled a comedian. Or you get those who literally just repost content, which I've done, and which is very funny. It is very lucrative to actually kind of just repost other people's content and not even come up with original content anymore. Like I've seen so many edits and and again, editing takes a lot of work, and it's really good for people who want to do like videos and stuff like that. Like it's crazy being the generation that basically created YouTube and made YouTube as big as it is, and being like, basically wanting to like be like the next star because we've seen like iCarly and people that made it big on TV. And so that we kind of wanted to join in on the pie. It's so the biggest part of it. So people really took YouTube as like that platform to be like, oh, I can make my own content, and then people can then all of the people from Hollywood, they can see me and see what I post, and it was very cool because then we also seen some of our stars that were on YouTube make it, like those like Peanut that came out back in like 20, what was that, 20, like 2009, you know and then he ended up being on Nickelodeon, and then you had people like who were also on YouTube, like for instance Fred, which no one talks about. That show was completely and utterly terrible, but the only reason that he was able to have a TV show is because he had the internet in a chokehold for a while. Like, bro, it is ridiculous to really think about who like to really think about in like the whole entire age of the internet, like how far we've come between everything. And I know this is not me saying anything profound or anything at all. This is just me yapping technically because who cares? But what the hell? It's like really when you think about it, how in the fuck did these motherfuckers really make it that big into the whole entire industry by not doing much of anything? Half of us really made it big on Twitch just because they screamed at a fucking camera and a mic and just did a bunch of obnoxious things. But let it be for the fact that a nigga actually wants to say something that's profound enough, and half of y'all would say, "Oh, that's trash." That don't make no sense. And I'm still trying to wrap my head around it, which is, and I can't act like, and it's weird because it's like weird. I'm trying to smear towards myself because I can't act like I'm not the same way. Whereas someone who says some shit to me that is very profound, and I'm telling that nigga, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear it. But in that exact same moment, I would go ahead and do some ignorant shit and then applaud myself being ignorant while simultaneously now growing up and realize that that nigga made sense. Like maybe we don't appreciate the good shit when it happens because why? Why do we need to actually appreciate it, right? But instead, if we would appreciate it then that person wouldn't feel you know, like as if they don't matter. You know what I mean? But that's just my thought process and like my thought bubble.